Well, welcome to the Pursuits of Productivity podcast. I haven't done this in a minute. Not done this in some time, but I thought who better to bring out in this little hiatus I've been than Akhtar, this mutual friend of mine who I met through a good friend of ours, who I just recently found out runs a small paid community. What was the name of that again?
Quadrant Kids.
Quadrant Kids, I believe, teaching STEM to children.
Yes, we teach STEMs to children's. Do I have to look at you or the camera?
You can look at me. We're just having a conversation.
Okay, yeah, so we teach STEMs to children's online. So we teach Python, which is one of the easiest programming language for age 9 till 13. And we have a teenager version from 13 till 16 because age groups, students are.
Yeah.
Yes. And for earlier age kids, we have a Scratch. Have you done a Scratch yourself as a kid?
I actually heard of like in school and stuff. You do like those simple games instead of coding. You'd put the pieces together.
Yeah, Code Block. Yes, it was built by MIT.
Right.
Yes, and it's for kids, so they can get them into coding in an easy way. So those are 8-year-olds, and they love to build those random stuff.
Like problem solving and whatnot. But
Yes,
I've gotten
yes,
ahead of
yes.
myself.
Yeah.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Okay, so my name is Akhtar. What should I say?
Where are you from?
Okay.
What do you like to do?
Gotcha. So my name is Akhtar. I've been living here in Phillipsburg for about 8 years, or actually 9 years.
9 years.
Originally from Middle East. I like to say, like my friends say, beast from Middle East. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And the way I got into this tutoring and stuff is I actually used to be a YouTuber.
Really?
I never told anyone.
I didn't know that.
Yes, no one knows about it. It's top secret.
Would you like to say what it's called? Or is that secret?
We can say it.
We can say
so
it.
it's called Quadrant Tech.
That's where quadrant
Yeah.
comes from.
So quadrant actually means a computer.
Right.
And I got the name quadrant when me and my brother was watching The Wolf of Wall Street. Have you watched that movie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Jordan Belfort.
Yes, and there's the investing firm, and there's a small shed. They say high technology, and the shed says quadrant.
Right.
Yes, that's where we got the name from,
Ah.
which means supercomputers.
Right.
And I started my YouTube channel when I was 15-ish, learning and teaching people how to do C++. And then I did it for 2 years.
Right.
And then after getting about 1,000 subscribers, I gave up on it. Then when I got my
Was there a specific reason for
it was so the way it works is I got demonetized.
Oh no.
Yes, and because one of my videos actually went viral, it got 80,000 views.
Right.
But it was a fake video.
It was a fake video?
Yeah.
It was like a prank?
Yeah, it was not like a prank. It was how to unlock your phone.
Right.
But it was so obvious. I was literally taking the phone off the camera to unlock it. And all my friends at the school roasted me. They're like, why would you make a fake video? Yeah.
Why did you make a fake video?
Just to get the views.
Really?
It was under a minute and got 80,000 views.
This is how you unlock your phone without it even putting in the code? Or
The password.
the password.
And I just moved the phone.
Just went out of the frame.
And the unit is open.
It's obviously a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Then I gave up on it. Then I got a job at tutoring at a different company online. And after working with them for about a couple of months, I realized I have so much more potentials than actually working for someone else. And I started the company 2 months ago. This is the beginning of the year, 2024. 2024. And then now we are here,
So how many students do you currently have under your belt?
So myself or all of my coaches?
Oh, all your coaches?
all
I
of
mean,
my
just in total.
Just in total, about 180 to 200, I would say, all around the world.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we got kids from Australia,
Really?
India. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It's all around the world.
They want to learn this stuff.
Exactly. They gotta learn technology.
And you saw an opening because a lot of people are losing trust between public education system.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
That's a great point I was actually trying to bring. Public education, I would say, is not the best as it was, as you told me a couple of weeks ago, it was built by the Rockefeller families, right?
Right, yeah.
Could you give some background about that to get the audience going?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, previously there wasn't a public school
Yes.
system in the early 1900s.
Yes.
And people were just if you had an education, you were privately educated and you paid tuition and you wanted to be there because it was a privilege to be educated, to learn. And they wanted to increase the rate of literacy, so they started this whole initiative, I forgot the exact name, but to start building out a public education system that'd be funded by taxpayer dollars. And immediately, Rockefeller and other people in that interest group attached onto that and started putting in their own sort of agenda into
Yes.
baked into the like fiber of the actual system. So they wanted to build people who would be willing to sit and do something monotonous for 8 hours a day every single day of the week, except for weekends, and be okay with it. So like, how do we do that? Well, what if we just do that from the ages of 5 to 18,
Yes.
and then they'll be primed and ready to do factory work or other like thoughtless and miserable tasks
Yeah.
that they needed them to do. Because I believe Rockefeller's quoted as, "I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers."
Exactly.
So it's just crazy, and that's the ramifications of that to this day are still starting to manifest in very weird and sad ways. So a lot of people I've noticed, at least, and myself
Yeah.
included, no longer want to subject their children to essentially brainwashing.
You have children?
Well, I don't have children.
Okay, eventually.
But eventually, yeah.
Okay.
I feel like they
Yeah.
already exist, despite them just being a part of my mind.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
they do. They do. But yeah, adding on to that, but you see, like the way that was designed was to put workers, not thinkers, and there was never the thoughts of putting the kids' full potential out there, which actually brings me to my second point. When I used to go to my high school, which is only 40 minutes away from here, in my Algebra 1 class, there was this special program they called programming. And guess what? They choose a bunch of students who are good at math, and I was not chosen because I wasn't good at math, and they thought, if this guy's not good at math, this guy will never be a good guy in computer science.
But they're completely different.
Exactly. It's completely different, and that's one way kids and students don't get their full potential sparked. Even from elementary school, if they're not good at one particular subject, doesn't mean they're not good at
Another.
something related to it.
Right.
Exactly. They say like if a kid is not good at chemistry, doesn't mean they will be good at physics or science. So it's just in a similar field.
Right.
Yes. So I think that's another good thing behind Quadrant Kids, which allows families to try let their kids explore different topics fully online by undergraduates and even some graduates of college students and see their full potentials, and all the classes are project based.
So are your coaches that you have hired,
Yes.
are they primarily college students as well?
Yes, they're all from college students, and actually, fun fact, the first guy I hired is the guy who helped me start the robotics club.
Really?
Yes.
You started the robotics club.
Me and my friend, I'm not gonna drop his name. Yeah, but yeah, me and him. Then after that, we slowly got bigger over a very short period of 2 months, and now I got 5 coaches, and myself, I'll be the 6th coach.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So how's that been going? How much of your time is that taking up on average?
Oh, so right now it's a lot of work because right now I will start this month. I got from 16 classes myself teaching down to 14 because they got finished.
Oh, nice.
And then I'm also planning and making all the lesson plans, which is the hardest part.
Right.
Because you have to make these lessons plan, which the coach has to say, the coach, and what to teach, and how to make it interactive for the students.
Right.
And also watch the class recordings, see how the students were interactive, what's like to change. So I've been putting about maybe 8 to 9 hours a day, usually, except Saturdays.
On top of being a full-time student.
Yes.
Good man. Good man.
Yeah, thank you, man.
I'm in a similar boat. Not that I found as fast a monetizable vehicle. You found you're in a very sweet spot. You know,
Yes.
online communities are getting tons of buzz these days for how much they can bring out of people and online education in general.
It is.
In conjunction with the whole homeschool movement that's been growing and growing. A lot of people don't want to put their kids or rely on public schools to educate their children for STEM fields. So
Exactly.
you caught a perfect wave. Your
Yes.
placement's superb.
Yeah.
But that's wonderful. How's that been balancing all of this?
All of this, I would say it's stressful. That's the reason I take Saturdays off. And
Right.
Saturdays, I go out with my brother and my friends to do something fun that's not work related at all. So I do that Mr. Beast, work 6 days and take 1 day off.
Absolutely. So you're just
Yes.
like a killer and then you're chilling.
Yeah, chilling 1 day. Yes, that's what I do.
So what do you like to do in your free time?
In my free time, so I recently picked up this, have you seen my post, skiing.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. I love skiing. So I've been going there a couple times.
Where do you like to go?
Wintergreen.
I love Wintergreen.
You've been there?
Yeah, I was just there. I actually learned to ski there the other day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty fun.
I ate it so many times.
Yeah. The fall damage is no joke.
No, yeah. I spun out like probably 8 times. I was sore the next day. It was great.
Yeah. Have you went to the blue or you just been going on the regular? I forgot which
I don't even know. I think of the blue circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the blue circle.
Yes, like 4 different levels.
Yeah.
There's like the regular, the blue, the yellow, then the black diamond.
Ugh.
Yeah, the
I'm not
black
there
diamond.
yet.
No,
Not
no,
there yet.
it's super dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So have you just picked up skiing? Like, is this your first time? Or
I picked it up maybe like a couple weeks ago because my
ago?
friend is a big skier,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, "Let's all go skiing." It was like, "Why not? You know, let's go check it out." First time I went, I got a lot of fall damage. We like to say, I got hurt a lot,
Oh, yeah.
and then a couple of weeks later we went again, and this time it was so much easier because I knew how to like balance myself and
Right.
slightly stop.
And with the success of Quadorn,
Quadrant kids. or
Quadorn
QK.
kids. So Quatorn or Quadorn?
Quadrant.
Quadorn.
Yes.
Okay, because I feel like I've been mispronouncing it.
Yeah.
Quadorn kids. With the success of Quadorn kids, I'm sure that's allowed you to, even though it's still in its like preliminary stages, a lot more freedom, I suppose.
In what way? Financial?
Yeah.
Or yeah. Thankfully, financial has been doing great. The cash flow is pretty good.
Oh yeah, and it's
And-
like great service delivery, save for like obviously the like you mentioned the quality control and interacting with the students themselves. It's pretty low maintenance. It's not like you have a building.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Just right now, currently focused on making more lesson plans. Have you heard about the language JavaScript?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So the plan is to work on JavaScript when I'm done with Scratch lessons because lesson Scratch has 8 weeks long, and I'm currently on week 6. So I have to make 2 more weeks. Then I can jump on JavaScript and make a 10-week lesson plan and get that going on for our coaches. So teach also web development and basic graphics.
That's awesome.
Yes.
And is that like for front end web design, like HTML, CSS, and like I don't know, like Photoshop to help with the graphic generation? Or?
It's more like CSS for the styling and slightly some HTML to put some functionality there, and mostly focus on JavaScript to get the background knowledge of how functions, if statements, and like basic knowledge works in coding to get their critical thinking going on.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
So is it primarily focused in like back end right now?
The JavaScript, the
Yeah.
plan is to make it half backend and half, or it's slightly more front end because students this age group, they love to see things right away.
Right.
So if they spend like 10, 15 minutes working on writing the code to check for a password is correct or not, they get bored very quickly.
Right.
But if you add some graphics that does some weird animation circle or car moving, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm loving this.
So you're working on building that?
Yes, that's the plan. After I finish my Scratch classes, my lesson plan this week, hopefully.
Excellent. And that's where are you hosting this whole platform?
OutSchool is a platform that was developed or really developed during 2016 by 3 friends, university dorms, and they got their first class released on 2017, and they got 16x their business scale during the COVID, as you could imagine, and that's their biggest success. And they're currently evaluated to $3 billion company.
It's excellent.
Yes, and they let these things called organizations, which is what I am. Which allows you to hire your own coaches, make your own lesson plan, and start your own LLC to get accepted. And then you host your classes on OutSchool. And they have, I think, 50, 60,000 families apparently visiting their website daily, so which allows you to host your classes there.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Perhaps you could become an affiliate.
Yeah.
And then, so I'm curious on their monetization. Is that like you pay them and then they give you the opportunity to earn through their platform?
No, actually, they made it super easy. So the way it works is you post your class, and whatever your class price goes for, they charge 30% from that.
Oh, gotcha.
So let's say if class total is 150, they charge 30%, which is about $45 of that. Then you get 105. Then you have to pay your taxes, your coaches, and then whatever is left over is the profit.
Right. So what's your compensation like? Is it like a monthly recurring fee, or is it for you pay up front for 8 weeks? Or what's that?
For the family side of things?
Yes.
So the family, they can pay weekly or they can pay up front. And if they pay up front, which gives us more capital to pay the employees early on, they get a slightly discount code, which is helpful for everyone.
Right.
And if they wish to pay weekly, and they can pay weekly, which brings the price super down, but it goes over 10 weeks.
Well, that's awesome. You know, the whole dawn of this internet thing, so many opportunities are presenting themselves, especially in this space. And you found one and you clamped down on it.
Exactly.
And That's a beautiful
Thank
thing.
you,
That's a
man.
beautiful thing.
I just wish I got it into during COVID time when
Right.
the out school the platform got 16x. That would be a whole different
Oh,
success.
oh yeah,
Yes.
absolutely different ballpark.
Yes, but I was young. I was
Yeah,
17 only.
yeah, same. We were.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mostly just made a lot of breakfast and lifted weights during COVID.
Yeah.
I got sick of pancakes.
Yeah, exactly.
What did you do primarily during COVID?
During COVID, I was actually in my downside of life.
Right.
It actually got me down. You know how some
Yeah.
people went through stuff during COVID. But yeah, other than that, I was just at home all the time playing video games, not really going outside because the family's like, "Oh, you're gonna get COVID" and all
Yeah.
that stuff, you know. And I actually got COVID right before this semester of school started, the first week of it.
Is that your first time?
Yeah, I only got COVID once.
I've had it, I think, about 3 or 4 times.
Wow, what a champ, man! Break it up, champion.
How was that for you?
COVID?
Yeah.
It was depressing because I had to sit in my family basement. I'm not
Right.
sure for you how your family works, but they put me in the basement. My food was coming a couple times a day, 3, 4 times. Not like a home present,
Like a
but
quarantine.
just trying to keep the family safe.
Right.
And I was just watching in the movie theater we have in the basement, just watching random movies and sleeping all day. What you did during your COVID times?
I hung out with my family a lot. I hung out
Oh,
with
the
my
whole
family.
family had COVID?
No. Oh, when I had COVID?
Yeah.
Specifically? Oh, when
Yeah.
I had COVID specifically. We kind of quarantined our house and we were just like, bring it on.
Oh, really?
But we didn't really go outside because our grandparents lived nearby, so we just didn't visit them whilst we had it. But we just was like, we're going to have it. It's fine.
Oh, that's dope. That's
Yeah.
dope. Yeah.
But yeah, I've had it around 4 times.
Yes.
But yeah, I often think of what I could have done or what I should have done during COVID, but like, that's not productive, you know?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
like, what are we doing now?
Yeah.
You know, we were that past experience is informing our present, so it's valuable. It's building that base.
Yes.
You know?
During COVID, there was a lot of potential times to build on business, learn new skills, handwriting, drawing, even camping. It's a fun thing, you know.
I love to camp. Yeah.
Yeah, I've done it a few times, but I'm picking up on that too. During
Yeah.
summertime, I think it's slightly better.
Yeah. Summer, spring,
Yeah.
fall, winter, not so much.
Yeah, you have to put so many blankets, you know.
Yeah. It's just like, well, you can still get. It still can be a lot of fun, but it's just
Yeah.
it's a lot harsher.
It is harsher, and the woods are not dry.
Excuse me. The woods are not dry.
Like in winter, if you go camping, it's hard to
yeah.
burn it.
Oh yeah. Oh
you know?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's wonderful.
Yes.
So, with this platform you're using, that
Yes.
kind of takes all the logistics off of your hands, say for the lesson plans and whatnot,
Yes, it
and
does.
managing the coaches.
Yes, it does. It takes all of the payment processing taken off of us, all the trust, because this already a platform that been there
Right.
and been all on the major news during the COVID time. And yeah, just the logistics, like you mentioned, for the managing coaches, the time zoning, which is a hard thing because now the students live in different time zones.
So you
and
need coaches in different time zones.
yes, I got coaches in California, I got some in Texas, and I got mostly from Berkeley University. And so now there are different time zones, and you have to line it up to my time zone, which is all the students' time zone.
Right.
And sometimes the family sends the email, "Oh, we just realized after comparing your time zones, this is like super early or late."
Right.
Then they have to like reschedule so many stuff. So
Right.
yes.
So dealing with that. Do you have any assistance in like the managerial end, like a virtual assistant or another employee?
I do use ChatGPT to make my writing corrections.
Right.
Like fix this spelling or put all the commas, stuff like that to make
Right.
it look more professional. But obviously, like reread it too doesn't look like a robot voice.
Right. Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. Speaking of AI, I was actually watching a news today. Let me show you what this company name was. It's called NATS. It's an AI traffic control company based
Really?
in Canada. So you know how there's these towers in airports.
Right. Air traffic control.
Yes, exactly. And it has grown tremendously because more people are being able to travel around. And as you may know, it's one of the most stressful job, right?
Right.
So now what this NATS AI company based in Canada is doing, they're building these high definition cameras like this 4K and even higher.
Right.
And they slap some AI on it. So now the air traffic control has a better controlling management all the planes. And as the planes are behind the terminal, you can only see the wings and not really the numbers.
Right.
And this allows them to cut off the takeoff and landing by 10 minutes.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it's calculated that each airport, once they get the technology, if approved by the federal regulation for all the airport stuff, which I have no clue about. Do you?
No.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
knowledgeable in
on the
space.
same point. Yes, they're gonna allow them to take off more than 300 planes more yearly by using the same amount of planes. Because now there's more times in their hand being
Wow.
cut off.
That reminds me of something I saw the other day, actually.
Yeah.
Would you mind angling your body slightly?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, got
Like
you.
move your seat kind of like this.
Like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Like that. Okay.
That
there
way
we go.
the camera can see your beautiful.
Okay.
And then if you want, you can put this down.
I never
and
could
then
get this. Oh, it's
twist-
just like
yeah, then twist here.
Oh wow, that's
There you
super
go.
better.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's interesting. Yeah, that reminds me of something I saw the other day
Yes.
regarding agriculture, where it was like this.
The laser thing?
Yeah.
Yes,
Instead of using pesticides,
Yes.
that's like poison, and then genetically modifying the food so that it's resistant to poison.
Yes.
Which sounds like so stupid, like
Yes.
in retrospect.
Yeah.
But they have these machines that glide over the crop, right?
Yes.
And you've seen it, and
Yeah.
it just leaves the bees, leaves the good stuff, and
Yes.
kills all the vermin.
Exactly.
So that way you can have a protected crop, but also not douse it with pesticides or have to genetically modify the crop.
Exactly. And looking back at this new technology for farming and this new AI for air traffic control, all of this goes back to coding. And if we get the next generation ready for coding at a young age and good coaches from Quadrant Kids or any platform actually, it doesn't has to be specifically one company.
Right.
As long as, like Elon Musk says, whatever you do, try to change the humanity in a good way.
Right.
So if we can manage to overall public schools, private schools, online companies get kids to learn coding at a young age, hopefully they can focus on improving these AI technologies we have even to the further step and nicer. Because these crops technology, the laser thing, doesn't just come out of the blue. Someone has to write
Someone
the
had to
code.
build that.
Yes.
Someone had to write the code that would then know how to distinguish between bees and
Exactly.
a harmful vermin.
Yes,
So,
and also like the computer chip, which is a big problem right now, which is more on the chemistry side of the stuff
Right.
and engineering.
it's all connected.
Yes, exactly. So we need more people to be focused on technology and STEM overall, other than other stuff like being movie actors, which is
Right.
overpopulated by a lot.
Right.
Yes.
Could you do me a favor?
Oh, yeah.
Kind of.
More chair movement.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, there we go.
Let me see.
Yeah. Is it
Just so
better?
that, kind of like try to copy
I got you.
my seat placement, so then the camera will be able to see you.
Oh yeah, my bad. There we go.
Also, we can still like
Yeah, yeah,
look,
continue.
not be staring at the
Yeah.
camera while talking to each other.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I mean, I kind of feel bad. I'm definitely not STEM inclined, I suppose. But that's just an excuse, really. Math scares me, to be
Really?
entirely honest.
Same.
Math scares me.
What's the highest math you got to?
Let's see. It's been so long since I've taken high level math, but trigonometry, I'd say.
That sounds hard.
I mean, I found it hard, but then my girlfriend's over here like cranking calculus like it's nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, it's like something you're born with or you're not, but that's not true.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like I'm afraid of it. And remember, you had mentioned you're also averse to math, yet you're quite technically proficient. How's that been? Like not being a typical math brain yet excelling in
Technology and coding.
right.
I don't know. I think it's just like everyone has their own niche about
Mm-hmm.
stuff. I don't know. Math just doesn't interest me, and it's super hard for me to learn. I think it's just people's brain is wired differently, you know.
I've always excelled in the abstract, you know, where there isn't a right answer.
Yeah.
I love that stuff. And seeing as you're a problem solver, I think
Yes.
that's also kind of where you excel.
Exactly.
That's very interesting how like we both dislike the absolute and
Yeah.
we think about more so potential of what could
Exactly. More potentials. And to kind of touch on, I think one of the first computer was built by a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe that's like one of the reasons women and your girlfriend specifically might be better at math because
Right.
they have like more longer memory span and they can focus more.
be. Definitely.
Yeah, and they can
All over
remember
the
stuff
place.
from years ago.
Yeah.
And sometimes they bring up stuff like 2 years ago you forgot this.
Yeah, no, same. That happens to
Exactly.
me all the time.
Yeah.
Or like, didn't you remember when you told me this? Or like something you did. It's just like, how do you remember all this stuff? Because for me, my brain is just like flying around.
Yeah, it's
Like-
always like on a float, always trying to like work on the next big step.
Exactly. I'm
Yes.
like, what actions can I take? That actually reminds me of a study
Yes.
where they had a group of test subjects, half women, half male.
Yes.
And they had this very long list of outrageous things they were doing.
Yeah.
And at the end of the list, it was like, disregard this and place this piece of paper on its face down on the table. So all the men, more often than not, would just do everything on the list. They would read it at a time and then do it, read it at a time and
Yes.
do it. Whilst the women would go through the entire list, read it back, and then go to start. So
Yeah.
they just stopped. They just didn't do it.
Yeah, that's the beauty, you know. I
Right.
believe all different kind of humans have their own, you know, specialty. Maybe we should put all the women in the engineering side of the stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea.
I think so too,
Yes.
because the majority of women I've met are also very like STEM inclined.
Yes, they are.
So that's definitely not to put people in boxes. Everyone's exactly like to your point. Everyone's different, so everyone has their own specialty. So I love to talk.
Yeah.
I got a gift for gab.
Exactly.
And I love to draw. I love to illustrate. I love to create like videos, animations, all that sort of stuff. So I thought perhaps a technical and well-suited career for that would be marketing and business operations.
Exactly.
And you like to build things.
Yeah.
You like to get into the minutia of why and figure something out. Why is this working? Why is this not working?
Yeah, exactly.
And you found a way to help people at scale through this whole
Yeah.
Quadrant Kids thing. That's crazy to me. Lately I've been coming across people who are just like so inspiring to me, and like you're definitely one of them.
Appreciate
You're
it,
definitely
man.
one of them because
Appreciate
like Jack on campus, he's also a business owner, and just seeing y'all make strides in your business just pushes me to do better because I most definitely kind of at a standstill right now. I'm sort of retuning my offer and just going to keep trying until something happens.
Exactly. You gotta just keep trying different stuff until something is actually comes and fits the right fit. And sometimes working at a particular job might not be the most fitting thing for someone, or might not even get hired.
Right.
Yes, because don't we have the tutoring center next door?
Yeah, on
Yes.
the floor.
Yes, exactly. You want to know a fun fact? I can actually find the email. I actually applied there as a coding tutor for Computer Science 110, which is the most basic computer science class at UMW. And after the two-stage interview, I was declined.
Why?
I don't know. They said you're declined for, didn't say any specific reason. They just said I was declined. And then I was like, okay. But so which
They don't know
brings
what they're
me
missing.
exactly, which brings me to the point, of I said, you don't have to specifically always work for someone. Sometimes maybe there's, do you believe in God?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so maybe sometimes the God anyone believes in or the nature, whatever you believe in, might have some different plans for you, and you just have to work hard enough, and you'll get the reward from that of your hard work.
You reap what you sow.
Exactly.
That's I love that adage, or something similar. You get what you give.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a combination of discipline and a willingness to continue to act in conjunction with faith. Definitely.
Yes. And some luck along the way.
A good amount of luck,
Yeah,
just
good
here
amount
and
of
there.
luck.
But
yes, exactly.
I mean, there's this quote that reminds me of a quote I heard. Luck is just a label for things we don't understand.
Exactly.
And it's funny. Luck isn't really real in a way. It's almost like it's a culmination of multiple things that have happened or you did that then become a good outcome.
Yeah, it could be like that. And also, like, when you think about it, so if someone does not believe in God, let's say nature, to get everyone in the concept, right? So if you work super hard, the nature or the God, whatever you might be believing, will eventually reward you for all the hard work you show them and showing the nature of the gods. That they built such a beautiful creature that is willing to continue working on a project despite not seeing as much result as they like to, and showing all the beauty and knowledge they have put into you and your brain that you're actually using it.
Delaying gratification.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a nice word.
Yeah, that's a huge, I suppose, buzzword right now of the delaying gratification, especially in the self-improvement space online. Yeah, I first heard of that whole thing from like two YouTubers primarily. I've probably heard it from other people.
Yes.
Hamza Ahmed, if you're familiar.
No.
And
Is he a boxer or something?
He does practice martial arts, yes.
Okay.
As well as Andrew Huberman, I'm sure you've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. But yeah, a lot of the standard means of entertainment these days is so now, fast.
Exactly.
And I myself have fallen victim to just continuously chewing on this stuff like it's gummy bears, it's candy, but it's junk food for your brain.
Yeah.
And it feels nice in the moment, but like after 30 minutes of doom scrolling, like, did you really learn anything?
Yeah, like the short-term memory spam,
Exactly.
and it brings you to not putting much of focus and hard work into a project
Hmm.
because you're so used to seeing stuff progress so much fast, like when we were kids.
Right.
Yeah.
I played a lot of video games when I was little.
Yeah, exactly.
What did you like to play back in the day?
Back in the day, GTA 5,
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Modern Warfare, and Fortnite. And the
Modern
Streets.
Warfare,
Yeah.
that's a fun one.
It is
I
a fun
love
game.
Modern Warfare. When I do play video games, that's like the one. And
Yeah.
as well as Smash Brothers.
Smash Brothers.
I love Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, I never did those.
I'm you know when people say like I'm good at Smash
Yeah.
Brothers? Like I'm good at Smash
Oh,
Brothers.
wow.
I put so many hours in
Yeah.
that game.
And also played a bunch of video games that really doesn't. It's like super old, and I'm not sure even if it exists in America, as I was not born in here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I got to play like these random video games or off-market copy versions.
Oh, like Fire did?
Yeah, stuff random. It's like so many random Japanese games that were big in my home country. So I used to play those too.
Like bullet hell games or
It was more like taekwondo, but like boxing, but it was like Japanese.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Were they like fighting games?
Yes, physical fighting.
Tekken?
Huh?
Were they Tekken?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Tekken, yeah.
Yeah, they got the name.
Yeah.
Yes.
I really enjoyed. I used to play Tekken back in the day, as well as like Marvel vs. Capcom,
Yeah.
if you're familiar.
I'm not sure, maybe, but I remember the Tekken name.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tekken's a fun one. Tekken's a really fun
It is a
game.
fun game.
But yeah, it's funny. I was just talking about not looking back, but
Yes.
looking back,
Yeah.
if I had only spent that time when I was younger instead of playing video games, learning a valuable skill such
Yes.
as STEM, like
Yeah.
such as Python, such
Or
as
Scratch, depending on
JavaScript,
the
or
age.
Scratch, depending on the
Yes.
age. Probably a language for
Yeah.
maybe, or who knows? Maybe I should drop my ego and start with Scratch. Start from
Yeah.
scratch. But yeah, because it's funny because my father is actually a computer, a software engineer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I think he knows like 20 plus programming languages.
Oh, wow. He's the master.
Like he just like picks them up like they're nothing. So
Yeah.
like to him at this point, like he can just like he's like, oh yeah, I'm learning Drupal 10 right now,
Yeah.
or he knows like Lapis, like Ruby on Rails,
Yeah.
Java, JavaScript, C++, Python, HTML, CSS. Like it's all the same to him now.
Yeah.
And I guess the apple fell really far from the tree because I do not have any of those sheer aptitudes. He's also very proficient in math.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I did not get hit with the math stick.
Yeah.
Which leads me to believe it's all a learned trait. So you teaching these people at a young age, I think, in a fun way instead
Yes.
of like a typical class setting.
Exactly.
It's very beneficial.
Typical class is the teacher that's just there. They're not really enjoying the job, and they just applied for the job just to get the money and
Right.
support themselves. Because when we hire or we look at candidates, one of the first question after looking at their resume is for them to write a couple sentences what makes them interested about teaching kids, and what makes them interested about majoring in computer science or engineering or in their current data field to see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And majority of the time, people don't reply back because that's where they get cut off of just applying for the job for the money, like traditional school teachers,
Mm-hmm.
and just getting the degree and not actually being passionate about what they're doing. So I think that's like a good way to filter people. And maybe if school systems does something even better, maybe we could get better school teachers and
Absolutely.
get us more going on in brighter future for the next generations coming up.
Absolutely, because I found, at least what I've ascertained, is that it seems that education is like one of the easiest paths in a collegiate setting.
Yes.
And it's kind of disappointing because people who go into education aren't really masters of anything. They just learn about, theory, and then they go teach other people theory.
Yes.
And they're not like in love with what they're teaching.
Exactly.
So I always try to learn from people instead of like generalists, people who are doing something very specific that I want to do. So and talking to people that have done things that I want to do,
Exactly.
instead of just like a person who's a teacher.
Yeah. No, the traditional teachers.
The traditional teacher.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you have that background, you have that passion, and then you're sharing that, and that's creating a greater quality of education, I feel.
Exactly. And kind of bringing on to that, one of my life goal is to eventually use the funds we get from using these, not using them, but getting the funds from more fortunate kids from around the world.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully we get to put small private schools in less fortunate countries that the kids don't really have enough money to support themselves and they want to have to like work on the streets
Right.
to help their family. So hopefully one day they get to learn the basics of computers, what is computer, like basic math, basic science, and hopefully they get to excel and fix their countries eventually. As we know, there's so many countries that are um, in a bad economical situations,
Right.
unfortunately put in by these big tech, big companies like the BlackRock, Vanguard,
Oh yeah, they're
to just use their
extorting.
minerals.
Pardon, 1 second.
Go ahead.
I'm enjoying this conversation very much. So.
Okay.
Yeah, not so fun stuff extorting. Not so fun stuff extorting other countries'
Minerals.
minerals. Yeah, because
Yeah.
the lithium
Yes.
and
yes.
the other precious minerals that they're mining from these countries, like cobalt and whatnot, that goes into these batteries. It's awful how they acquire it.
Yes, it is. And it's child labor or family intensive labor, and they're not getting paid enough to put their kids in a school uniform
Mm-hmm.
and give them a backpack and go learn in their public education system.
Because they have to mine to provide for
Exactly.
their families, and no child should have to provide for a
Yes.
family.
Exactly. And all they know about is their family been mining for these big companies that get all these minerals for their cheap, and then that's their this they think that's the only way to make money when they get to grow up. So that's what they tend to do. But if we get to give them some education, hopefully they get to grind and get scholarships and go out of the country and learn engineering and help their own country, do
Start-
their own mining instead of working for some big corporates.
It's really sad. Just the discrepancy in the availability of learning how to acquire skills. I guess you could say it's
Yeah.
very roundabout, but like, yeah, just lack of opportunity. So that's great, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to do the same thing as well in some capacity. Just give back once I've made it, and it's too bad that people who have made it aren't giving back as much as they should.
Yes, like Bill Gates,
Yeah,
instead of helping the community and people actually in Africa and other countries, he's actually buying all the farmlands so he can control more of our food.
food supply.
Yeah, food supply. Like, come on, man, you're the people we look up to.
Yeah, the billionaires, they're all
Yes.
like, instead of how can I bring everyone else up, they're like, how can I make myself even higher?
Exactly.
And that's just a mindset I've never really understood, how like anyone who could achieve such worldly status could feel like they need more.
Yes, I feel like it's more like on the evil side.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I guess they just want to keep getting more and more money and more wealthier at
Right.
some point that they just forget about the regular people, that there's actually other people exist on world and universe.
Right. And they need help. And they say that they do all these philanthropic things, but they're actually experimenting on Africans. They're actually like providing experimental vaccines and experimental pharmaceutical drugs to get free data.
Exactly.
And it's really, it's disappointing. It's really disappointing for sure.
It is. And for some medical companies, I don't really like vaccines and stuff like that. What about yourself? Since we had the topic of
I'm actually unvaccinated.
really? That's
Yeah.
what's up. No vaccine for COVID.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe
Or
in stuff.
no
like
jab.
that.
I got
No jab. Yeah.
No jab.
We never know what's in those things.
Yeah.
It was fast paced too. In like 2 years or less to build this vaccine, they want all people around the world to get it out of the blue, which is not much
Crazy.
research into it at all.
Yeah, normally it takes 10 years to develop a vaccine. Yet
Exactly.
a year. I'm thinking they actually already had it in their back pocket,
They could have had it.
and they were just making it seem like, oh, with technology we've developed it so much faster.
Yeah.
What holds back the development process of vaccines isn't, the end of it. It's the testing it on people. That's what
Yeah.
holds it up, because you can't do it in a way that's too fast, or else you'll kill people.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it last so long. So, but instead they just. Have you read The Real Anthony Fauci, written by Robert F. Kennedy?
No. But I heard
Oh.
about those names. The Robert
That
Kennedy.
book makes my blood boil.
Wow.
um, they they being the CDC and the powers that be, have done a lot of awful things. Are you familiar with the AIDS pandemic in
Yes,
America?
remember that.
Yeah.
I was a small kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were just on the tail end of that when we
Yeah.
came around. What year you were born?
I was born 2004.
2004.
Yes.
You're younger than me.
Wow, how old are
Yeah,
you?
I am 20. I'm 20.
You're 20, I'm 19.
Yeah, right. I was born in 2003.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Slightly old.
Slightly, yeah, but
Yeah.
well, what month were you born?
August 1st.
August 1st. So
Yeah.
I'm almost a year older than you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah.
You look young, though.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you.
Of course.
Hopefully that'll
Yeah,
continue.
Exactly.
Hopefully that'll continue into my aging. But yeah, what were we saying?
Oh, we were talking about these AIDS vaccine.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Well, not the vaccine for AIDS, but they had this pharmaceutical compound that they had developed called AZT. I forgot what that stood for exactly, but it was primarily produced for a chemotherapy drug, but
Yes.
it was not approved for chemotherapy purposes for treating cancer because it was far too aggressive in that it killed way too many of the subject cells. So it was essentially ingesting poison. And they were like, oh, frick, we have all of this AZT that we've developed and we poured billions into this. How are we going to monetize this drug that kills people? And then AIDS came along. And you're like, I know what we can do.
Oh.
And they started selling these poison pills to people afflicted with AIDS as it was spreading in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s. And over that time, before it was like pulled off the shelves and other alternatives in the market came out, they were just giving people already autoimmune compromised poison, and that like skyrocketed the rate. And he shows these statistics in the book that are just like insane because AIDS went from a very relatively mild condition. There were obviously some deaths due to like other diseases because it weakened your immune system, but it wasn't killing people. And then all of a sudden, it was just like through the roof, like millions of deaths just from what he claims from the consumption of the treatment, the
Yes.
medicine. And it's that as well as many other things and testing in very unethical manners. And I remember that he was doing a test on these dogs, right?
Yes.
And Tony Fauci was conducting it. And they were barking because, dogs bark.
Yes.
They were in the cages, these little puppies. And he's like, how about we slip their vocal cords?
Wow.
So they surgically
Remove them.
all of the subject dogs to test them. It's just, there's so much stuff
Yeah,
in
that's
the book.
evil.
No, he's evil. He's
Yes.
actually evil. And it's insane. It goes to show how fundamentally wrong our system is because it rewards that behavior, that Machiavellian, psychopathic, just blatant disregard for people.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think we have built, or not us, but they have built an evil world out there
Yeah.
that, like you mentioned, rewards the wrongdoing, despite them promoting despite them saying wrongdoing is bad, but they actually promote all of that, and that's how you get super wealthy.
Right.
If you look into it, all the people who got super wealthy, they have done something wrong.
Bill Gates' business practices,
Yeah.
he would like squeeze competition to his ability. Like so many cease and desists that weren't even right, but like, are you going to go against Microsoft?
Yeah.
No, you're going to lose that one.
Yeah, they have too much cash to burn.
Yeah, too much cash to burn.
Too much cash. And like same for like Apple and all these their evil stuff they're doing with all the minerals.
I mean, their logo is literally an apple with a bite taken out of it.
Yes.
And what does that represent biblically?
I don't know.
Oh, are you not Christian?
No, I'm not. No.
Are you Muslim?
Yeah.
That's awesome. What sect?
What do you mean, like Sunni Shia?
Yeah.
Oh, you know all that?
Yeah.
Oh wow, Sunni. I think.
Sunni? Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm a Roman Catholic myself.
Roman Catholic.
Yeah, but I don't really practice that much as I should, which I should be doing, seeing as
Yeah.
like, it's very important to have our faith right now. As
Yes.
crazy as the world has been
It
getting.
is.
But oh yeah, a biblical story is of Adam and Eve, and there
I
was
see
this
where you're going.
in the tree. There was this Garden of Eden that God had given them,
Yes.
and He said, "There's this one tree with the fruit of knowledge, and you may not eat of this tree, but everything else in the Garden of Eden is yours."
Yeah.
And after the coercion of the devil, in snake form, in reptilian form, he convinces Eve to eat from the tree. And she takes a bite, and the tree is often depicted as an apple. She takes one bite, and then she hands it to Adam, and then they both learn of the true nature of good and evil, and their consciousness expands, and then all of a sudden they're just like, oh, we're naked. Oh, and good and bad exists, and then God shuns them from the Garden of Eden. That's like the story of man.
Yeah, and that's how humanity started, right?
Right.
Exactly.
And she took a bite from the fruit,
Yes, which is apple.
which is the Apple logo, which
Yeah.
is like literally like a symbol of disobeying God.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was kind of comical.
Yes, that is. I see your perspective on that. And not to mention now they're coming with the Apple Vision, right?
Yeah, that's so
Yeah.
strange.
It is strange. So they want to be right in front of your eyes.
Mhm.
I wonder what's next. Is it lens that you put in your physical
Contact
eyes?
lenses
Your
or
contact lens?
an installment in your brain.
Yeah, like some sort of Neuralink. Well, I love Neuralink if it's for the good of humanity, for the people who's God made them disabled for whatever reason, so now they can actually like cook for themselves, talk. That's good. But if Neuralink gonna be there for normal people who can actually talk and behave, what are you gonna need the Neuralink for?
Oh, it's bizarre.
Control us?
It's so sad. Yeah, exactly. Because like they'll be able to access our brains.
Exactly.
And people are willing. Like, are you familiar with the mark of the beast and sort of like biblical descriptions of the end times?
Yes.
How everyone in the world will transact commerce with their right hand. Have you seen those things they're installing in people, the chips that
In
are the
Europe?
cards? Yeah.
Yes, in Europe they have those things. Yeah.
That is, and people are willing. They're signing up for it.
Yeah.
And it's just like insane to me that they don't see. But like if you have a godless population,
Yeah, that's really odd. But you can just take off your wallet and use a credit card or Apple Pay just to pay for stuff. You don't have to put something below your skin.
right?
That's being super lazy, I would say.
Yeah, rather sheepish.
Yeah.
It's just, but it's good to hear other people who aren't like so brainwashed, for lack of a better term,
Yes.
into the media echo chambers and all the propaganda that they've been producing to make people feel a certain way.
Exactly. And the fact that this is turning to a Joe Rogan podcast. Yeah.
And then the chimpanzees did mushrooms.
Yeah. We just need Jamie right there for the MacBook. Yeah.
Jamie.
Search it up. Yeah. But what's it called? But yeah, going back to that, and they're talking about building the 15-minute cities so they can
Oh
keep
my
us more
God.
controlled.
WEF.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I don't know. Something seems off about it.
It's definitely like unprecedented. I'm hoping there's a coup, like internal or external. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
it's just strange. But who do you even revolt against? It's like you can't be mad at an organization like the WEF. It's not like they have influence, but they don't have actual authority. Yet people listen.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because a lot of the constituents have so much capital.
They do. Don't you think it's time for aliens to come down and like gives us a knockdown?
Something.
Yeah. So I believe there was this one country back in the day, which kind of go back to what you were mentioning in a way. So the country was, I forgot which country. The people them internally they used to fight each other because they were from different ethnicity, and the king of that time found external enemy. And all the people got together and they stopped fighting each other. So hopefully if alien comes, which kind of sounds dumb, all the humans, instead of focusing on making all these evil products, we all get together to fight the aliens and bring the whole universe, the whole world as a community back like it was in the 80s and 60s, whatever.
But what if they fabricate an alien invasion?
Oh, fake alien?
What if they fake aliens for that explicit purpose so that they can then usher in their globalization efforts? That's actually a little theory called Operation Bluebeam, I believe.
Yeah.
Where they would hypothetically use laser technology to create holographs of alien ships going over major cities and whatnot, and then cause actual mayhem, destroy things, and then say we have to band together and let's dissolve all nations and become one nation to protect ourselves against the alien threat.
Oh, that's a good point.
And it's all just a ruse, an elaborate ploy. You never, and this is the thing I'm talking about, because I bet they do have the technology to make that sort of thing happen. It's just not commercially available, because why would it?
Exactly. I think there was actually, it was Domino's trying to put a laser on the moon for their Domino's ad back in the days. Ever heard about that?
No.
Was it either Domino's or Pepsi, one of the two? And obviously they could never do it because such a bright laser, but
Right.
that's back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And always kind of a more closer time, the Hawaii wildfire burn.
That's fishy, man.
Yes, because why did the blue cars didn't burn and the blue house didn't burn?
The houses with the blue paint on the roofs,
Yes.
like Oprah's, like
Yes.
Mark Zuckerberg's,
Yes.
like The Rock's.
Yeah, why do you all have it all of a sudden?
I don't know.
Super sus.
They all got like a month or two before blue
Yeah.
painted roofs. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, and they say those lasers that can burn items, apparently for some reason it can burn you blue color. Who knows for what chemical reasons or however it works. I have no knowledge on that.
I think it was they've programmed the AI to not burn things that are bluish.
What do you think of the AI?
I think it was an AI operated laser.
Yeah, it was definitely some sort of laser that got the right color mix that makes it super strong.
Right.
Because the RGB values are very interesting. You can slightly add a little bit different and it changes the whole thing.
Right. So one very specific hex code that was
Yeah.
just like this very specific color. Paint your cars this, paint your houses this, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, now I want everything blue.
Yeah.
Blue face.
You like the performers with the drums?
Yeah.
Those guys are so weird.
Yeah, I'm going to go paint my house blue. Like, I
Absolutely.
had family. I got a great idea. Just in case.
Just in case.
They want blue house in the community.
That's a product.
Yeah.
Paint your house blue.
Yeah. We'll paint your house blue. We'll keep you away from the fires.
So the government won't burn it down with lasers.
Yeah.
But it's funny because like that's probably what happened.
Exactly.
Like that sounds like a joke.
It does.
That sounds like a movie.
Yeah.
But those fires in Hawaii were conducted by some sort of group organization who had a lot of money, who could afford lasers from space. It's just
And to go on the Hawaii situation, apparently there were some companies planning to buy a bunch of land, and if they were cutting the trees normally in an environmental friendly way, they had to replant the trees to make up for it. And they're saying if they had to burn it, then they're like, oh, it's just the regular Mother Nature did it, so now they don't have to replant it, and they could buy the land without all the labor needed to cut down the trees, which might also go back to that.
it's a cash grab. And then all the
Yeah.
people who were affected, like all
Yeah.
the 2,000 unaccounted for children,
Yes, the unfortunate people who had to get burned in the way of,
burned alive for
Yeah.
profit.
which is sad.
Very sad. But, this is hopefully I've noticed a great upswing of young individuals like ourselves who want to sort of step away from all these, pedestals that we've put people on and, start providing value through these service businesses, through these product businesses, and not have to depend on these companies that we've, are doing all the evil in the world. So hopefully this will be a good development.
Yeah, hopefully this is a movement that continues growing and helps the population as a nation, as everyone, except being the evil side.
Not the evil people.
Yeah, exactly.
Like to quote Thomas Jefferson, the tree of liberty needs to be freshened with the blood of tyrants.
Yeah.
I'm not a violent person, but
That would be dope, but also kind of scary.
yeah, like an actual conflict, that would be really something.
Yeah. So you think they should color it red from blue? The Statue of Liberty?
Oh, paint the...
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I thought you said they should repaint the Statue of Liberty.
What? Oh, no. I said the tree, to quote Thomas Jefferson,
Oh.
the tree of liberty, it's like a little metaphor, needs to be freshened with the blood of tyrants and patriots.
Okay. Oh, patriots.
Yeah.
Oh, nation lovers.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's making more sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like, in order to maintain this, kind of fragile system, but the only seemingly functioning societal structure that we've ever had, you need some conflict from time to time, I suppose.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what he was saying, anyways. But it makes sense. Yeah.
Sometimes conflict brings people together.
Exactly. To your point earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
But Quadron kids.
Quadron Kids, yep. Quadron Kids.
Quadron kids.
And hopefully there's more organizations or companies comes on as from different people who helps people get stronger and smarter. Because myself, I don't know nothing about science. We also need scientists.
Right.
We need rocket engineers eventually to be able to go to different portions of the universe in case if we need some sort of mineral to be more evil. Yes.
So we can extort aliens instead of humans.
Yeah, exactly. So it's good to get the kids always on right education and probably homeschool. That's what I'll do to my 20 kids. Not just joking.
I
20 is crazy.
20 is crazy. I do plan on homeschooling my children once they come about, because public schools are just great at pumping out weirdos.
Exactly. Either that, or if I'm blessed enough to be able to put them in a private school, I would do that.
Right.
Because private school, it depends on which one you send. I believe some of them are really good on the steroids of homeschool, really top education, and they get to actually interact with other students, but in a crazy high price. Yeah.
I believe with quadrant quiz, the way it's going, in 2 months, it's already 180, you said?
Yeah, 180 students.
I mean, you keep going on this trajectory, man, and you'll be putting your kids in the finest private schools imaginable, man.
Yeah, finest online private school.
Sky's the limit, really.
Exactly.
It's just how well you address the market. So I'm very grateful that I honestly can meet, people like you, people like Jack, people like mentors.
Yeah.
I recently just got a mentor actually for digital marketing.
Oh, wow.
So
That's good.
hopefully that'll be fruitful. But yeah, just learning from people who are also trying to do the same things you're doing.
Yeah, it's always good. And
Always
like
good.
yourself, finding people who think the same way and putting it all together, and kind of like everyone learns from someone else.
Mm-hmm.
I learned a few things, you learn a few things, and we all share knowledge together by just talking and having a fun podcast.
Yeah, like a fun Socratic discussion.
Exactly.
That's the real purpose of academia, just talking to people.
Yeah,
Just talking to people.
just talking and keeping it in mind in
Absolutely.
notes.
Well,
Yes.
I'd say it's a psychological stopping point.
Yeah, and it helps with the short-term memory span. Now you're not on Instagram doing 10-second scrolls.
No, it's so bad.
Exactly.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
So, delayed gratification.
Yep.
Work on yourself. Believe in God. And fuck the government.
Yep, this podcast is going down.
The industrial military complex is going to
Yeah.
delete
You're
my
like, if
channel.
they open up.
Akhtar, sir?
Yeah. I mean, thank you,
Absolute
Kelly.
pleasure.
Absolute pleasure to be on this podcast.
This was the Pursuits of Productivity podcast. Any closing remarks?
Always learn something new and learn how to play chess.
Oh, I was actually talking to my
Yeah.
my good friend Miguel last night about his love for chess and
Yeah.
like chess.com. That's funny.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Hey, bet more chess.
Yep.
Play
Learn
more chess.
technology. Play more chess, play coding, learn coding, and don't believe everything you see on internet.
It's true.
Exactly.
It's true. Especially with AI.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, so many subjects.
Exactly.
All right, bye.
Bye. Have a good one, everyone. Just put some sound.
Absolutely. Wait, keep
Okay.
going. You keep going.
Okay. Whee!